Hi, I'm Rainbow Sparkle and I'm reading the Enchanted Wood, and this is the last chapter, chapter 29. Safe back home again and goodbye. The party went on and on and on. The game of musical chairs was fun, for instead of someone taking away a chair each time, the end chair took itself away and walked neatly off and stood watching. Silkie won that game. She was so quick and light on her feet. A big box of chocolates came flying down through the air to her when she sat down on the very last chair and pushed Moonface away. She was delighted. "Let's all have one," she said, and undid the box at once. While they were eating, they saw the most astonishing sight. "Look," said Moonface, almost swallowing his chocolate in astonishment. "What's this coming?" Everyone looked. It seemed like a lot of little brightly coloured men running upright. What do you suppose they were? "Crackers!" shouted What's-his-name, jumping off his seat in delight. "Crackers! Running to us, ready to be pulled!" Really, those crackers were the strangest, greatest fun. They ran about on tiny legs, dodging away, trying to be caught. Everyone ran after them, laughing and shouting. One by one, these funny little crackers were captured. And then they were pulled. My goodness, what glorious things were inside! "I've got a brooch," cried Fanny, pulling it unto herself. "Oh, I've got one too," said her doll. "Well, you must catch a cracker then, Perenelle," said Fanny, and how she laughed to see her doll running about after the red cracker. Perenelle caught one at last and brought it back. Inside there was a teddy bear brooch, which Perenelle was simply delighted with. Joe found a silver whistle in his cracker. It whistled like a blackbird. Joe was very proud of it. Moonface found a squeaker that squeaked like a cat mewing. And old saucepanman went hunting for cats all the time when he heard it. Naughty Moonface, he pressed his squeaker behind Mr. Saucepanman and laughed till he cried, seeing him call "Puss, puss, puss," and looking under all the tables and the chairs. Silkie's clock wanted a cracker too, so it ran after one and trod on one to catch it. It held it in its foot and pulled it away with Silkie. What do you suppose was in it? A tiny tin of polish and a duster wrapped around it. "Just the thing to clean you with," said Silkie in delight. The clock was very, very pleased. It struck 22 times without stopping, much to the walking doll's astonishment. They played hide and seek, and immediately the most exciting bushes and trees sprang up everywhere to hide behind. Really, the birthday land was the most exciting country to be in. Then they played "Here We Come Gathering Nuts in May," and 2 big nut trees grew behind them full of nuts, and a long hedge white with sweet scented May. It made a very great game indeed. When they played "Here We Go Round the Mulberry Bush," a big mulberry tree grew up as they danced, and the children gave a shriek of delight and picked the ripe red mulberries to eat. You never know what's going to happen next, but you might be sure it would be something exciting. Then they thought they would have races, and hey presto, they saw a crowd of small motor cars running up and all ready to be raced. In got everyone choosing the car they liked best. There was even a tiny one for Perenelle, the doll, with an extra one for Silkie's clock, who joined in the fun and ding-donged merrily all the time. The old saucepanman won the race, though he dropped a few saucepans on the way, and Moonface handed him a box of sweets that had appeared for the winner. "You've won," he said. "Run?" said Saucepanman. "All right, I'll run." And he started running around just to show how fast he could run when he wanted to. What a noise he made, with his kettles and saucepans clattering all around him. Supper time, shouted Moonface suddenly, and he pointed to a lovely sight. About 100 toadstools had suddenly grown up, and appearing on them were jugs of all kinds of delicious drinks and cakes and jellies and fruit. Smaller toadstools grew behind the big ones. "These are the seats," said Silkie, sitting down on one and helping herself to some acorn aid. "I'm hungry, come on everyone." Bessie flew down from the air. She did so love flying. Fanny ran up with her doll, who followed her everywhere, talking in a little high voice. Joe galloped up on his pony. Everyone was very, very happy. It began to get dark, but nobody minded because big lanterns suddenly shone out everywhere in the trees and bushes. As they all sat and ate, there came a loud bang, bang, bang. Perenelle cuddled up to Fanny, frightened. Silkie's clock tried to get on Silkie's knee, scared, but she pushed it off. "What's that?" said Joe, patting his frightened pony. "Fireworks, fireworks!" shouted the angry pixie in delight. "Look, look!" And there in front of them were the fireworks setting themselves off beautifully. Rockets flew high and sizzled in clouded stars. Catherine wheels whizzed round and around, and squibs jumped and banged. Golden feathers poured down like fountains. Really, it was glorious to watch. "This is the loveliest birthday party I have ever heard of," said Bessie, flapping her big wings as she sat and watched the fireworks. "Lovely things to eat, wishes come true, most exciting games, glorious crackers, and now fireworks." "We have to go home at midnight," said Moonface, pushing away Silkie's clock, which was trying to sit on a toadstool with him. "I do hope it isn't time yet." "How shall we know when it's midnight?" they said, thinking that it was really time for some of them to be going to bed. They knew all right, because when midnight came, Silkie's clock stood up straight and struck loudly 12 times. "Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong." To the ladder," shouted Moonface. "Hurry everyone there, quickly. The birthday land will soon move on." The ladder was there. Everyone climbed down and called goodbye. The brownies took cushions and slid off down the slippery slip. Mr. Whiskers got his beard caught around the legs of Moonface's sofa and nearly took that with him down the slide. Moonface just stopped it in time and unwound his beard. "What about my pony?" asked Joe anxiously. "Do you suppose he will be all right sliding down, Moonface?" "Well, he can't climb down the tree, and he certainly wouldn't like going down in a washing basket," said Moonface. So they sat the surprised pony on a cushion, and he slid down in great astonishment, wondering what in the world was happening to him. Fanny slid down with her sleeping doll on her knee. Bessie carefully took off her wings and folded them up. She didn't mean to have them be spoiled. She wanted to use them every day. She was so proud of them. The pony arrived on a cushion of moss quite safely. Joe got back on him. It was dark in the wood, but the moon was just rising. They would be able to see their way home quite well. "Goodbye," called Moonface from the top of the tree. "We've had the loveliest time." "Goodbye," called called Silkie. Ding dong, said her clock sleepily. Take care of yourselves, shouted what's-his-name. Moonface pressed his squeaker loudly, and they giggled to hear Saucepanman call, Puss, puss, whenever they could. Slishy, sloshy, slishy, sloshy. Good gracious! Was Dame Wash-a-Lot doing washing already? Joe dodged away on his pony, and the girls ran away from the tree quick. Mr. Whiskers got the water all over him. He was standing nearby, and he was most disgusted. Come on, girls, said Joe, laughing. We really must go home. We shall never wake up in the morning. So they went home once more, through the Enchanted Wood, with the moon shining pale and the cold between the trees. Wisha, 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 whispered the trees. Joe put his pony into the field outside the cottage. Fanny got Pennell ready for her bed, but Bessie put her wings carefully in a drawer. They all got ready to bed and climbed in. Good night, they said. What a lovely day it's been. We are lucky to live near the Enchanted Wood, aren't we? They were, weren't they? Perhaps they will have more adventures one day, but now we must say goodbye to them and leave them fast asleep, dreaming of the land of birthdays and all the lovely things that happened there. So from the Enchanted Wood, it's goodbye for now.